fascinating. While many expected the consumer to permanently change, some retailers that have opened their doors are seeing some more positive outcomes. TJX, owner of TJ Maxx, says they're seeing very strong sales and reopenings across their 1,100 stores. Macy's mentioning that sales were still down, but much less than anticipated. And Target telling our Jim Cramer that there was strength across its entire portfolio now, not just essentials. Joining me with more, our own Courtney Reagan is here, along with Matt Boss, who is equity research analyst at JP Morgan, Institutional Investors' #1 retail analyst last year. Welcome to you both. So, Matt, I'll start with you. Where does Macy's fall? I noticed in your survey among consumers, you say the place they see most likely to eschew more permanently is the shopping mall. So what are we learning so far?
Thanks for having me on, Kelly. So, look, I think you're seeing a mixed bag. As a whole, retail is coming back strong, stronger than any sector anticipated. You mentioned TJX. They're opening doors in regions so far at over 100% productivity. There's pent-up demand out there, and there's stimulus. But there's also the sense of getting back out and reinvigorating at brick and mortar. So e-commerce trends have been strong, but brick and mortar is also coming on, and we're not seeing a slowdown so far in the e-commerce trend that really accelerated in April. To your point on the department stores, there's going to be changes. Before the pandemic, the department stores, different parts of brick and mortar, were under consolidation. We thought that there was probably a 5 to 7 year material shakeout in brick and mortar, particularly mall-based brick and mortar. I think now what happens is that's all accelerated. It probably is now maybe a 2 to 3 year type of a consolidation. And you're going to see a bifurcation only accelerating with the winners and the losers. So athletic and health and wellness and active, a clear trend that accelerates out of this. Digital, so the Nike, the Lulus, the VF Corps of the world, accelerating. Off price, as we mentioned, and discounters, I think actually could emerge stronger as value and convenience is really king.
Sure. And it's fascinating, Courtney, to see Lululemon is up 20% this year. I mean, this stock has just kept performing. It's at all-time highs again today. And it is interesting what Matt said, that the demand so far in these stores, the return of shoppers, it's been stronger than anticipated and pointing to some pent-up demand.
Yeah, exactly, Kelly. I think that's a good point with Lululemon. And then to some of Matt's points, the winners that we saw before are continuing to win. The losers are going to continue to lose. The stores that were starting to roll out these pickup services saw them really pick up, much more so than they anticipated. So everything got pushed forward, got juiced up from what we had seen before. I think that's a good point, Kelly, too, about the pent-up demand. Is this just pent-up demand to replace some of what we lost? Is it a new normal going forward? We're just not sure. I think that was an interesting story from Blaine Alexander about how shopping will change. I've seen others that wonder if people go out shopping and they keep their kids at home to maybe keep them safe or just have to prevent the mask wearing for a little kid. What does that mean? Does that mean you buy more or less if your kids aren't putting stuff in your cart? Yeah. Right? And so, but then maybe you also have more time to spend shopping for yourself.
Exactly.
I mean, there's all sorts of a new normal here we have to figure out.
Absolutely. And, you know, Matt, I see Urban Outfitters is still here. I see Nordstrom. I actually want to ask you a little bit bigger picture question, though, which is about litigation. And if you're one of these retailers and there's an outbreak in your stores, either among your employees or members of the public who are shopping there, are you worried about being held accountable, liable for that?
Yeah, look, Kelly, I would say that I think retailers are setting up and preparing for the new normal. So I think there's safety measures being put in place. There's sanitary measures that these retailers are putting in place. I think a really key point from our survey work and our field work more recently has been the overall budget for consumer goods. So for apparel, footwear, handbags, accessories is actually unchanged pre versus post pandemic. The bigger change is how and where are the consumers going to get the goods. So that's where, as we think about e-commerce, off-price, discounters, again, to Courtney's point, retailers and brands that were strong coming into this, as you think about Nike, Levi's, North Face, stronger brands, we're seeing that mind share right now with e-commerce. And you're seeing the same thing at the brick and mortar side with the Burlingtons, the TJ Maxxes, the Ross stores. Some of the companies that we're hearing are opening stronger out of the gates. These were the winners before the pandemic. And I think that they're positioned to take additional market share coming out.
Yeah, like, as was so often is the case, it kind of accelerates the future, and that usually means the winners win more, so to speak. Matthew Boss, Courtney Reagan, thank you both for your thoughts today.